When people hear wallet, they think my money is in my wallet, and if I lose my wallet, I lose my money. But that's not exactly correct in the crypto world.
Cryptocurrencies have always been thought of as a way to change the way we view banking and finance. But that does mean a lot more responsibility on us to take care and secure our own money. Hacks, phishing, poor passwords, etc. can be ways people could possibly lose their investment. So what are our options to be our own bank? To help us understand more about crypto wallets and custody, we are joined by a Bitcoin-focused programmer actively working on open source software and hardware projects. Let's say hello to Keith Mukai, who's taking us through our No Bull guide. What is a crypto wallet?
Hey, how's it going, Zaid?
Thanks for being on the show today. So I've been in crypto for a few years now, and I think I understand crypto wallets, but I really could use a refresher and maybe explain some things. Let's just start it off simple as, what is a crypto wallet?
Yeah, well, I'm with you on that. I was a couple of years into playing with cryptocurrencies and even owning hardware wallets before I had any real gut feel understanding of how this all works. So the most important realization is that the word wallet is the biggest problem, the biggest barrier with understanding this. We need to throw out the word wallet. I mean, it's too late, right? It's been adopted by the industry. It's in the lingo. But when people hear wallet, they think, oh, my money is in my wallet. And if I lose my wallet, I lose my money. But that's not exactly correct in the crypto world. So it's inherently technical, but I'm going to do my best to make it understandable for just about anybody. But interrupt me and ask questions if I get things too confusing here. But unlike having your money in your wallet, in the crypto world, all of your value is visible to the entire world, right? The entire world can see, hey, there's half a Bitcoin sitting on this address. But the magic of it is that the cryptography is securing that value so that nobody can just go in and move it. They're like, oh, I would love to have that half a Bitcoin moved over to my side of the ledger. And I'm sure anyone on the planet would love to have that. But the only way to move that value is you need to have the exact secret giant number that the cryptography is based on for that specific address. And so this giant complex number is called your private key. And when I say giant, we're talking about like 70 digits long number. Like this is insanely big and complex. And that's the key to the security. If anyone else had my secret number, or if they could guess it, then they could move my value, around the blockchain. But a 70-digit number, good luck guessing. You can take all the computing power in the world and guess for the end of the universe, and you'll never get the right result, statistically speaking. But so the wallet, which again I hate this term, but we're stuck with it.
Right. The
wallet is where that giant secret number lives. So it's stored in your wallet. And this could be a piece of software. It can be a hardware like, you mentioned Ledger, Trezor, those sorts of things. But forget that distinction for now. Just the wallet concept is where your giant secret number, where this private key lives. And it's essentially a cryptography calculator. It can do the math to authorize your value to move around the blockchain if you want to. And it just applies the giant secret number, plugs it into the math formulas, out come the signed cryptographic proofs. And the cryptography level that secures all of this is way beyond my level of understanding. I think us regular folk, we don't necessarily need to understand how the cryptography works. We could certainly spend the next 10 years Googling it and trying to understand it ourselves. But, people way smarter than me have done the math and have assured all of us that it can't be, manipulated improperly. And there's billions or trillions of dollars sitting on these blockchains, right? If these secret huge numbers could be hacked, they would be, and the value of the Bitcoin blockchain could be drained away without your control. But so
So,
the
so I
wallet,
want to recap right there
sure.
first. So people have money in a wallet. They have Ethereum, Bitcoin. They have their crypto in a wallet, and that wallet, in order to get access to that wallet, you need a private key, which is a series of 70 digits. And no one, it's pretty much mathematically impossible to guess those 70 digits. So I guess these hardware wallets or these other wallets that we have, they pretty much contain this 70-digit private key that gives you access to these wallets that you can then move your money around and do transactions with.
Yeah, I mean, I would try to use the word access to your value, just so we get away from this confusing
Okay.
word wallet.
Access to your value. Got it.
Right, this private key, when it's applied to the calculations, it now has control of your funds that live on the blockchain. So you have no money in your wallet, whether it's software or hardware. You just have the ability to move the public blockchain value that you can control, using the wallet as your calculator, your cryptography calculator.
But if you can go to like all these multiple websites, ETHScan, things like that, you can look up people's wallet addresses, is what I'm assuming, or these .eth addresses, and it shows you how much money people have. I guess what that's showing you is how much value that wallet can, or no, that private key can control, right? Am I understanding it correctly?
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so that leads me into the question of, what is the difference between that, which you explained very well now, I really appreciate that. What is the difference between a crypto wallet versus the crypto that's living on an exchange? Or even one that's on my phone or a PC or a hard drive or something like that?
Yeah. So what you have on the exchange is just a promise. The company that runs this exchange is claiming, hey, Keith, you have a quarter of a Bitcoin and 5 ETH sitting on our exchange. We promise that anytime you want it, we can send it to you. But it's just a promise. It's just numbers in their database. There's no real cryptography behind it. There's certainly no private key that I can use to say, no, I'm going to take it from you, right? They control it.
Interesting.
It's secured under their private key. I have no access to it unless they are giving it to me when I request it.
So Keith, I guess the follow-up to that would be like, let's just say I've done this before. I'm on an exchange. I want to bring some money into that exchange, whether I'm using it to sell or something like that. They give me like an address to copy, and I can copy that, I'm assuming a wallet address, to transfer money into that exchange wallet. What's going on there then?
So at that point, you are moving your value within the blockchain. You're transferring it to the exchange. So now, once that transfer is done, you no longer control it. It is no longer your crypto. You have handed over your Bitcoin. You have handed over your Ethereum to the exchange. You can sell it. You can trade it. You can do whatever you want. And then, but the value that they display in the exchange, again, it's just a promise.
It's a promise.
There have been shady exchanges where you send your crypto into the exchange, and the exchange owners who now control it, they go off and they gamble it somewhere else. And historically, they have gambled and lost all of it. And now it's gone. So the number that you see when you log into their website, it might still say, hey, Keith, you have 5 Ethereum. I'm like, cool, I want to withdraw it now. And then they say, oh, hey, by the way, we gambled it all away. It's gone. Sorry.
I don't have it. Gotcha. So that number you see when you open up your exchange's apps is really not, you don't own that money because that's technically belonging to the exchange. They're just promising you that, yes, if you try to withdraw, we'll let you withdraw. That clicked right there, man. That makes a lot of sense. A few more follow-up questions. So what is an offline or cold wallet? I keep hearing that. Go with a cold wallet. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, let's go in order. So the least secure is to have your value sitting on the exchange, because like we said, it's just a promise. It's not really yours. You don't control it at all. The next step that's better than that is to have what's called a hot wallet. So hot is dangerous, but it's better than nothing. So a hot wallet is like on your phone, you can have wallet software, but that super important private key lives on your phone, and your phone is connected to the internet. So if your phone gets hacked, you're at risk of that super important private key to be stolen away from you. And anyone who has a copy of your private key can move your crypto. So, okay, we had a slight improvement where we control our value now, but it's still at risk because it's on a hot internet connected device.
Gotcha.
So then the next improvement off of that is to separate the private key from the internet permanently. So there's no way for it to get leaked, by some hacker. And so that's where these hardware wallet devices come in, where even though you're connecting the hardware wallet to your computer in many cases, it's designed so that the circuitry will not allow the private key out, no matter what the hackers do. And so this becomes a technology arms race. You've got this super secure hardware wallet, it's working great, but then if it turns out there's a flaw that can be exploited, well, then you better upgrade to a different hardware wallet or upgrade the firmware to it that repairs, the exposure. And so this is more secure because now you have your private key living kind of in this vault, in this protected, dedicated hardware device that can do the cryptographic math to authorize transactions, but your private key can't be stolen. So at this point, we call that cold storage because you are disconnected from the internet. It's not hot. In theory, it's no longer at risk, but you're never at zero risk.
You're never at zero risk. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap up with this question because I see these headlines all the time, or I hear about them all the time, even when I'm setting up my own wallet, right? Seed phrases, right? You'll hear people saying that, they have seed phrases to set up a wallet, and people will like take the different, however many different seed phrases, or they'll rip it up, put it at 12 different locations all over the world. Can you explain to me what that is? And how that applies to everything we've talked about today? Because that's the last part that I'm confused. I want to connect all those dots.
Yeah, that is a beautiful piece of nerd engineering, actually. So by writing down these 24 very specific words or 12 specific words, that's called your mnemonic seed phrase, those just handful of words can rebuild your giant secret number. They can rebuild your private key.
Private key.
So so you don't have to write down a 70-digit number, which of course all of us are going to screw that up if we try to write that down by hand. But we can write down 24 words. We can write down 12 words. And then the software can very easily reconstruct your massive private key from those few words. And so, even with the 24-word wallet, or certainly easier with a 12, you could just memorize it. You don't even have to write it down necessarily if you had to. So in theory, you could carry around your entire net worth just in your head. And they call that a brain wallet because you haven't written it down anywhere else.
Yeah, that makes, so that's just engineering on the back end of them being able to turn these 24 phrases into your private key. You have the private key. Now you have access to all your wealth or your value on the blockchain. You can do transactions with it. You can do whatever you want with it. And that is another, I guess, secure way of doing it because it's not hot. You have access to it in your brain or on a piece of paper or wherever. Gotcha. Oh my God, Keith, that helps me understand a lot of things. Well, we have to wrap up here, but we'll probably have to have you back on for some follow-up questions. This was awesome. Just to wrap up here, can you tell people where people can find you, to follow you, and see what you've been working on?
Yeah, I'm Keith Mukai on Twitter. As you said, I'm working on different hardware and software Bitcoin wallet projects, so check them out.
Perfect. Thanks again, Keith. Thank you so much. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.